So let's see here. Administrator's office. This sentinel has been damaged. Its metal shell is cracked, and one of its crystalline eyes looks loose in the socket. Repairs are currently taking place. You interrupt a wizard who is in the middle of some painstaking work, using putty and sheet metal to repair the tears in the side of his sentinel. He seems happy for the interruption. After washing some oil from his hands and wiping them with a towel, he says, "I am Sorengard. Welcome to my busy little laboratory." Sorengard is well into his 50s, but it is still plain from looking at him that he is not a native Ammonite. He is from the surface. He's been down here for a long time, but some natural color remains in his cheeks. Tell me about the tower. When I came down here from the Empire, this is where I came. It was a good place to do my work, free of interference and without a recent history of explosions. And now that Solberg is back in charge, I can be guaranteed to get the resources I need. He may be old and, well, he is aging, but he still has great influence in the castle. There's always so much to do and so many to watch. Wait a second. Sorengard, weren't you the guy that Solberg was pissed at and blamed for his golems going wrong? Why did you leave the Empire? No mage might learn anything, do anything, or practically even cast anything without permission from one of the Empire's bureaucrats. It has driven many wizards into the underworld, and Emperor Redmark has done nothing to change the laws. And who are you watching? For some reason, someone decided to welcome Gladwell into our tower. He is not a trustworthy character. He uses his wealth and power to corrupt those around him, and always for his own ends. We've noticed. Sorengard chats amicably with you. He seems happy for the break from maintaining the Sentinel. He watches the construct closely, though, in case it starts to fall apart. Or worse. What are you working on? I'm aiding Solberg in the improvement of his Sentinels. They are a powerful tool with a variety of limitations. I'm trying to expand the very short list of what they can safely do. Fortunately, we are asking very little of them, so we shouldn't encounter the, problems Solberg had. What can the constructs do? Guard an area, be placed somewhere, or be sent on a fixed patrol, and attack anyone not bearing some sort of symbol, say a bracelet. They are reasonably good at this one simple task, but when asked to do anything more elaborate, they are erratic. I am trying to enhance their capabilities. It is slow work, but I am optimistic. What went wrong before? Solberg created a small province called Tranquility in far northern Avernum. He tried to use the Sentinels to provide the complete defense for this new land. This made the constructs unstable. Fortunately, we are all currently more realistic about what the things can do. Well, hopefully, at the very least, when the constructs went mad, or at least even all the constructs that were still under control, along with what Solberg has in his power, he was able to do something to the Slith Horde approaching through the northern frontier. I mean, I don't know where they actually came in. They may never have encountered it, but hopefully that massive force that was in Tranquility was able to do something to the Slith Horde. Now that I think about it, that may be one of the biggest things that was able to do something to the Slith Horde. There may have been a lot down there that could have done something to the Slith Horde. Depending on where they came up, they could have encountered... Well, the Drake Pillars didn't have much. The islands of the Northern Lake, that probably, well, the Mage there probably could have done a bit. Tranquility would have completely done a number on it. The Anama, I don't know if they could have done much. They probably would have been crushed. And as for the giants in the Azure Gallery, they might have helped a bit if we hadn't completely destroyed them entirely. And the miners there, angry as they were, they probably fought, but they died. And I don't know what the Venati did, if the Venati even encountered them. I don't know. Is there any way I can help? Actually, there is. I've been looking for some hardy warriors to help with a minor matter of testing. There's a stone circle to the northwest out in the Great Cave. There are several weak sentinels there. I want to evaluate their organization so remote from their creator. Just go there and say, Solberg commands, to the one in the center. Once they are no longer attacking you, report what happened back to me. How will I find the stone circle? Road signs should lead you to it. The constructs lingering there will make it unmistakable. Wait. Attack me? Oh yes, don't worry. They are weaker than normal. You should have no trouble fending off their onslaught. Defend yourself for a short time and then return to me. You'll be rewarded for your pains. Can you teach me any spells? I can teach you magic. It's long been one of my duties here, and sharing the secrets of our order is our duty. I believe that, which is why I came to the underworld in the first place. Icy Rain! Yeah, all of the training for Icy Rain. Spray acid will get sometime in the future. Yes, please, Icy Rain, that is what I want. Very useful. We need the area effects. Private laboratory. Not going in there right now. Alright, anything in these rooms? Ooh, healing potion. Coins. Dried meat. Disruption wand. You don't have one, you may as well take one. See what happens. Alright. You. Can't pick it. You we can. And you have absolutely nothing. Okay then. Now up to the northwest side. Gladwell's laboratory. Great. That's interesting. Anyway, Gladwell's laboratory. Great. This workshop is hot, cramped, and full of unpleasant smells. Boiling herbs, sulfur, smoke, and a little blood. The cages and manacles visible in every corner make you feel very nervous. You immediately wonder what sort of research is taking place here. It's not botany or anything completely benign. It's dark magic, powerful and hard to restrain. Dear, dear me. Gladwell, what are you doing now? There is a lone wizard in this workshop, managing a dozen experiments and concoctions with almost obsessive focus. You watch him for several minutes as he maneuvers them to points where they don't need his attention. Then, when you suspect that he hasn't noticed you, he turns and grins. A cold, unsettling smile. Ah, a visitor. Welcome. I am Gladwell. He looks you up and down, quietly evaluating your strengths and weaknesses. You are young and inexperienced, I think, but you have potential as well. Much potential. Interesting. A pot starts to bubble over. He turns to pull some firewood out from under it. What sort of work are you doing here? Anything that is asked of me. Anything that can help your nation. I do whatever is asked in return for lodging here free from the distracting chaos of the north. For example, I make wands and potions of the highest quality, not the dross made by Jules and her like. Of our nation? You are not an Avernite? A true master of magic is a nation of one. Our kind goes where we will and does what we will do. I help Avernum because they have things to offer in return. And when the chaos is calmed, I will return home. Can I buy any wands or potions? Of course not. I am no tinker. Avernum asked for a certain number of items. I will create and deliver them. What else do they ask you to do? He looks at a cage in the corner. It looks recently used. Certain parties of the castle made certain requests of me, and I performed them. Discussing it with you would not be appreciated. Okay. Gladwell continues to work on his many experiments, making wands for the Avernite army, testing samples taken from diseased fungus, maintaining machinery of uncertain purpose. Talking to him is very slow because of all the work he is trying to do, but you do manage to have a disjointed conversation. What are all these shackles and cages for? They are for my work. Some of this work I do on behalf of your masters, others for my own benefit. None of it is any of your business. Can you teach me any magic? I have access to deep stores of magical knowledge, powerful spells, rare and priceless tomes. I will make them available to those of value to me. There is no charity here. Everything I do operates on the principle of fair exchange. Where are you from? My tower is in the Northern Isles, deep within the territory held by the Slith Horde. Their presence was a chaotic influence and made it difficult to do my work, so I came here. Before I left, I placed powerful bonds on my tower. One day, if I can't find a better place to reside, I will return there. You fled because you were afraid of the Slith Zerakai. Afraid? Nonsense. That rabble could not pierce my defenses. However, they made it difficult for visitors to reach me. Much of my work depends on my finding allies to come and aid me. Did everyone in the Northern Isles flee? No. There was a wizard named Shankar, a baffled, altruistic soul who stayed to fight the Slicerakai, and I imagine hide from the Empire. She is still there, if she lives. Anything you want from your tower, should I happen to find it? He raises his eyebrows. Only for you to try to break in to see how far you get before you are incinerated. Otherwise, do not think I need help from the likes of you in my own home. Okay. What did you mean when you said that I have potential? Few soldiers come visit me. It is unfortunate. You have training, you can travel, you sometimes have time to perform tasks. You should know I can pay very well those who aid me. I will give you tasks. They will be dangerous. You must perform them in your spare time quickly and properly, and when you are successful I will pay you very well. I make this offer only rarely, but you have qualities. A spirit I have come to recognize. When you are interested, let me know. I'd like to help you. I saw it in you, a desire for power. The sort of power you will need to fight for your country and actually make a difference. You do want to make a difference, don't you? Well, there is a fort a short distance to the west, Fort Remote. There is a room within with paintings. There is a switch behind one of those paintings. Pull it. A concealed tunnel will be revealed. Go upstairs. Find a door marked with a red stripe. Enter. Find the clay seal and break it. It will be a magical circle. You might see some shades briefly. Don't damage them. Just return to me. That is all. It could be done in an afternoon if you made haste, and I will pay you well. Will the soldiers in Fort Remote mind this? I doubt any of them know that those old cells exist. They were kept secret, so secret as to most likely be entirely forgotten. And what is in this cell? Probably nothing, but that is something I need to know. Take note, however. Open the door with the red seal. Opening the other doors might be unwise. I may kill the shades just to get rid of them. I'm concerned. Gladwell's laboratory. Who is this? Botany. The alchemist of Patrick's Tower has been here for a very long time. Her white hair has a vivid violet streak, doubtless by choice. Her arms are dyed green up to the elbows, the now permanent residue of decades of work. She greets you with a smile. Ah, yes. Whenever a new warrior comes to our tower, it is only a matter of time before he or she enters my workshop. We have standing orders from Selberg to aid all of your kind. I'm Jules, and my laboratory is equipped and ready. What would you like? What sort of work do you do here? I mix and purify and bake. Not only potions, but whatever is needed for the research being done here, for the sentinels and for the new mushrooms. What do you make for the sentinels? Oils and solvents to keep them clean and functioning properly. Even though they are creations of magic, it takes much effort to keep them in prime fighting condition. Makes sense. And how do you help with the mushrooms? I make mulch and substances that Horan thinks might cure the blight. And I don't know what she does with the mixtures I make for her. I just follow the recipes. Okay, then. Need any more alchemy done on your behalf? Oh, we can buy a potion if we need. Ooh, Tinker's crystals, too. Can you make a potion for me? I'd be happy to. Let me see the herbs you have foraged. If they are fresh enough, I can make something for you. For example, if you brought me healing herbs in adequate quantities, I could make you healing or curing potions. Even better, with the right mix of herbs, I could make a brew to speed you up in combat or restore your magical energy. Very useful, much in demand. Well, the energy potion would be useful, but we don't need any right now. Only one person left to speak with. That is Solberg himself. You come face to face with a character out of the history books. The Archmage Solberg, one of the first wizards in Avernum. Few have fought harder or given more to protect and build Avernum since long before you were born. And his age shows. The practice of magic has a tendency to lengthen the lives of its masters, but in Solberg the process is reaching its limits. He slouches in his throne like a life-size withered doll. He looks up at you from the seat. He is small and frail, but his power radiates out of him.
Young soldiers, young Ammonites. From the castle, perhaps, come to assist? I am Archmage Solberg, the master of Patrick's Tower. What do you need?
You are the master of the tower.
I am. Once I would have thought it an honor to look after my friend's tower. Then I was master of it and it bored me silly. And now I have been trapped here again. It is simply where I am warehoused.
He is starting to ramble a little. You suspect that he would continue even if you left the room.
I returned from Tranquility thinking I could be of use. They nodded and smiled and stuck me here.
What was Tranquility?
An experiment. I tried to create a new land within Avernum protected by my magical sentinels, which would be safe from invasion, raid, or demonic assault. This experiment failed and my land had to be evacuated when the Slith Horde struck. Still,
He nods toward one of the sentinels.
my sentinels still have uses in limited roles.
You don't want to be here.
Look at me. This flesh has little strength left, but I would use it fighting back the Slith Horde, fighting for Avernum. But I am too old, too erratic, they say. They do not trust me. But one day they will learn.
Learn what?
I am an archmage. This gives me... Never mind. What do you need to know?
Right. What research is happening here?
Important research. When I took over here, I redirected all of our efforts. Nothing risky, nothing esoteric. We must direct all of our energy to the service of Avernum. We are trying to create a new blight-resistant mushroom. Work on my sentinels continues. And Gladwell does, well, whatever he does. I warned would happen when he came.
Tell me about the mushrooms. In an instant, Solberg grows furious. He leans forward in his seat and instantly regrets it. Wincing, he says,
The flora of Avernum? We created it. The cave wood, the glowing fungus, the savory mushrooms, all of it. Made by us to make life here livable, and now we will be defeated by a fungus? Never. We will do what we did before, but better. And we will find the source of the sabotage and have our vengeance.
Sabotage?
Some would say the rise of the blight is a natural process, something that happens and would happen. I think not. So much of our work could not be undone by chance. Mark my words, someone is behind this, and I will find them.
Right. It is possible, but it's also possible to be random. What are the Sentinels?
My creation. Like golems, but faster and more capable, but sadly still very stupid and less stable. Once I overestimated their capabilities. They are very valuable in limited tasks. I'm trying to expand their possible uses.
Who is Gladwell?
A wizard from the northern tunnels, powerful and mysterious, and selfish and untrustworthy. He came here when the Slith Horde seized all of the lands around his remote tower. He does many services for us, making wands and potions and such, so the crown lets him stay, but...
But what?
Gladwell only cares for power, and for Gladwell. Beware him. He will offer much, but he will make you pay for it.
Solberg slumps on his throne, trying to remain still. You realize that movement might cause him pain. Despite this, he constantly looks around at the silent sentinels that guard this chamber.
What else do you need?
Can you teach me any magic?
I do not teach. Have not for years. My time is too valuable. Speak with the others in the tower. Perhaps one of them will take the time to aid you.
I'd like to hear stories of Avernum's past.
I am not some musty old scroll. I am not senile and useless sitting around and telling stories of my past. There is a war, and I will be part of it, as I have in every war before now. You will not, if you are wise, treat me as an invalid again.
I have been sent from the castle to aid you.
It is about time. You are not here to help me, but to help Horan. She is in the central courtyard. Help her to complete her experiment.
What sort of experiment?
You are going to help her to create a new sort of mushroom that can withstand the blight, something that can save Avernum. It is an honor to be given the task, especially considering your obvious lack of experience. Go speak with her. It is vital that you hurry.
Gladly. Nothing but air of use. Well, we can speak with her now. Sorry about that. I can help you with your mushrooms, Horan. Can you? Can you really? Oh, I am so pleased. I have had an assortment of promising fungal strains in the quarantine downstairs for weeks, waiting to be tested, but certain intruders have prevented us from evaluating them properly. If you could go down to the testing chamber, get rid of the squatters and other invaders, and run the test, I would be most grateful. What exactly is this experiment? I have bred a number of different new strains of mushroom, each of which has a chance of resisting the blight. They are growing safely downstairs, far from the blight. Now I need a small amount of blight to be released near them to see how well they handle the presence of a limited amount of the infection. If any of the samples survive, Avernum's troubles may be ended. Where do I enter the tunnels? You will have to leave the tower and travel west toward Fort Remote. Here. She points out a location on your map. It should be marked with warning signs. Go downstairs, past the guards, and follow the signs to the fields. Oh, before I forget, she hands you an odd bracelet. It is made of woven twine, encasing a polished piece of turquoise. That will give you passage past the guards. Glad I remembered to give it to you, now you won't be killed. Tell me about the squatters. Somehow, some hungry Avernites snuck past the sentinels and infiltrated the caves. They are eating my samples. Here I am, trying to save them all, and they are devouring the very experiments that might have fed them all. Oh, they make me so angry. They're hiding in the tunnels somewhere. Find them and drive them out, however you want. Tell me about the other invaders. Some of the fungal mixtures I created have become, active on their own. One of them infected my assistant and made him very fungal. It is a tragedy, and very inconvenient. My assistant monster is lurking in the fields directly beneath us. He will have to be destroyed before the experiment can take place. Is there any way to cure him? Well, the first thing the fungus did was liquefy a large part of his head, so it is unlikely. Ugh. That's not pleasant at all. How do I complete the experiment? There's a wheel in the middle of the fields. Turn it to release the blight samples. Don't worry, the mold is harmless to humanoids. Wait and see what happens, then report back to me. Sure thing. And that said, that is going to be the end of this episode, I think. Next episode, well, we'll do some explorations. We'll take a look, I think we'll take a look at what's down in this area first, then take a look at that area we found to the east, and then move on to the tunnels underneath. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Ortas, Michael, Amar, and Rika. This has been an Avernum 6 Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.